Welcome for joining us in this, our second iteration of our program, our series, How to Get Unstuck, Overcome Fear, and Live Your Best Life. And our esteemed guest is Arlene Mclaren. And you know, here at the Eat Speaks platform, we focus on heal, aspire, and grow. That's the bedrock of our platform for us to heal, aspire, and grow. Of course, the phone will go up now while I'm on this. This is how it works, interruptions. But welcome for those of you who are here and for those who will hear us in the aftermath, after the recording. Please be sure to give us your input, give us your feedback as we explore the fourth reason or the fourth secret, which we don't want to remain a secret, of how to get unstuck, overcome fear, and live our best life. It's a tall order, I know, but we are exploring it and we are committed to growth. We're committed to expansion, and we are committed to being intentional. So with that being said, I would love to introduce Arlene Mclaren once more, who's a coach, a best-selling author, and a producer of the Ask Arlene Show. Arlene, thank you for being here. And for our other guests, Chanela, Patricia, Dana, who's trying to connect, thank you for being here. So Arlene, why don't you go ahead and give us an overview of yourself, and then I'll take it back and talk about the first three secrets that we discussed before we discuss the fourth law. Hi, Dana. I can see you now.
Okay, before I discuss anything, I just want to say thank you to our host, our esteemed host, Miss Angela Gibson. I am so appreciative to be a part of your platform today and to be able to share the book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear and Getting Unstuck After COVID-19. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing to change lives and touch, move, and inspire people. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for that warm appreciation.
Okay, so like she said, the book has 10 secrets. And last month, because it's a monthly series that we're doing, we talked about the first three secrets. And today we're going to talk about secret number 4, which is proximity. So the first secret is clarity, being clear about what you want, what your goals are, where you want to go. And so many of us have these big dreams and big goals, but we just don't know specifically one goal that we're going to work on that's going to help us to achieve that true vision or that true dream or that true goal. So as a coach, a lot of people come to me and they say, oh, help me. I want to expand and I want to, be the best version of myself, but it starts with one thing. So first step is being clear about what we want to do and why we want to do it. And the coach helps you to cultivate that. And we talked about the different steps that were involved. So you can go back and watch that video. You can get the book and see all the steps as far as clarity. Secret number 2 was visualization. Visualization means that you're not just seeing the end from the beginning, which is what people usually do, which is why sometimes we say it doesn't work, because we're just looking at the happy things. We're looking at how exciting and excited we're going to be at the end of the process. But really the secret to visualization is that we have to not just look at the end from the beginning, but also look at the challenging spots along the way, or the challenging things that we have to accomplish along the way that will get us to that goal that we truly want. And so a third thing about visualization is the feelings, the emotions, the color. When you're visualizing what you truly want and you're closing your eyes and you're seeing that day where you truly achieve that you go from 1.3 million to 5.3 million in your business, how do you feel? How do you feel? What do you say? What do you do? What colors are you wearing? Who are the people around you that are celebrating with you when you get to that goal?
Right.
There are all these different things that are involved in the visualization process. And so it's important that, we operate in all of those things and all of those areas in order to see it through and in order to, as they say, see that it does work. And so in my life,
can I ask this question right here? What is it about visualization that can you hear me? I don't think
yes,
you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay. What is it about visualization that you're currently practicing in your own journey?
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I went through a very challenging experience where about 5 years ago, I was head of a chamber of commerce. I had been a high-level executive for several high-level elected officials. I got recruited to go clear across the country. Out of 300 people, I was recruited to run a particular company, and it was a chamber of commerce. And I know you guys have heard of Black Lives Matter. Well, this Black life didn't matter to them because shortly after I had been recruited to go there and things were going well, I had a new apartment, I had done all the things in due diligence and in good faith to be there. The new board of directors came in and they decided they wanted their own person. And so I got fired, but not just fired, but publicly fired. They put my face on the cover of the newspaper and across my face, it said fired. Wow. And I was really stuck. And it's out of that this book was birthed, because I wasn't able to move forward for about 3 years. I just sat. For those of you that didn't know that, I was really stuck.
So I thought I'd ask about that because it's such a powerful testament to the power of visualization, and that Arlene is actually living it out. Because I can't imagine being on the front of a newspaper with the word fired going across the screen, the front page, and it's my face that represents that. Think about the emotion that went with that, the feeling of devaluation, the feeling of disappointment, the feelings of fear of what my future is going to look like. And here she is having anger, I'm sure, vitriol.
People said to me, "Oh, well, did you steal money? Did you steal money?" No, absolutely not. So what did they say was the reason? They said it wasn't a fit.
It was not, they were moving in a different direction, something like that.
It was no longer a fit.
Not a fit, we're moving in a different direction, we're downside, those fancy terms they use. But the point is that that was traumatic, I would think.
Yes.
That sounds like a level of trauma that I hope I never have to go through, but life can be very unpredictable.
Right. I was a guest speaker at a Rotary Club that morning, and I just couldn't get out of bed.
The trauma, that's how really it was. And if I, when I encounter trauma, I would like to think that you're somebody I can look to pick me up after having gone through what you were describing. That's just like intense. So thank you for sharing. I mean, there's clarity and there's visualization, and the last piece is momentum. But visualization was really important for me to hone in on today, because you are such a testament of leaving what's behind and pressing forward to what's ahead. That it says that in the scripture. I can't remember what scripture it says, but Paul says, "This one thing I do, I forget what's behind and I strain forward towards the goal to which Christ has called me heavenward." So that's what it reminds me of, that the pressing forward part. And then the third piece is the momentum, understanding the power of momentum in the third secret in overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and living your best life. Dr. Brown, welcome to us, because you're also an example of someone who has gone through so much, but has managed to, is still doing it, leaving an impact on so many people. So talk about momentum a little bit, Arlene, in the third secret.
So like I said, I was stuck for about 3 years and didn't move. As far as my career, I knew I wasn't going to go back to that job or being a Chamber of Commerce head. I felt like, as a leader of a company, it's very easy for the board of directors to, ask you to step aside like they did. And I didn't want to put myself in that situation again, even though I had headed up other chambers of commerce in the past. And I knew I didn't want to go back into politics either, because that really wasn't where my heart was, because shortly after that too, I had a double whammy because my mom passed away. And I realized that that made me even more stuck. So I think that I had to find a way to get up. And these were the 10 secrets that helped me to get up. But one of the first things that I did was I found a coach. And that lady was able to walk me through a process that at least started me on the road and on the route to recovery. So momentum was key. And I put the secrets in order because I truly feel that we need to move forward first and foremost. So a lot of people say, oh, well, you need to plan first. You need to, write it out and script it out first. And for people like me who are quasi perfectionists or people who want to do things well, at that juncture, I was stuck because I was trying to find the ideal route. I was trying to find the ideal way. And I was also being silent. I had heard, oh, you listen for God in the silence and you remain still. And so I'm here to say, don't stay still. Don't stay still for 3 years. Okay.
You're in
Move
park.
forward. Move forward. God can talk to you even while you're moving, even while you're walking and you're on that journey. He can still talk to you. Okay. You don't have to be in a stationary position. And chapter 3 starts with the quote that an object at rest remains at rest. An object in motion remains in motion. And so the most important thing to do to get unstuck is to begin moving. Even if you're not sure what direction we should move in. And I wasn't sure. And so I shared last time that what I did was I got into another profession. It wasn't the ideal profession. It wasn't where I ended up, because where I really wanted to be is where I am now, coaching and helping other people to get unstuck. But I did something, and it put me on the trajectory to finding the career that truly was in line with where I needed to be. So for all of you who are planning and plotting and scheming and organizing and waiting and no, okay,
Move,
get
right?
up and move. What did you say?
Just move. Start moving.
Move. Decide.
Ron, why don't you give us your
Decide.
insights on that idea of being in momentum? How is momentum, which is one of the secrets of how to overcome fear, get unstuck, and live your best life? How have you been able to use it lately, or in your most recent memory in your life? And how does it manifest itself? Are you stuck, Dr. Brown? Can you hear us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you?
I was asking you, how is momentum? How does momentum manifest itself in your life or in your business, or how does it show up as one of the secrets to overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and living your best life? How do you think it could contribute to that process?
Well, I agree with what Arlene said. For me, I think about, I do multiple things at once. And I think to keep moving helps in terms of getting unstuck, which is the whole point, Sometimes when you move, things may not move in exactly the same direction as you would like, but I think it's better to be able to tweak something while you're moving than to just be stuck,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I shared last time, a plane going from New York to Los Angeles, is just what I do quite a bit, is off course much of the time. But the plane knows exactly where it's going because it has a flight plan. So even though it gets off course, it still ends up at the right location because it's in motion to that location. And so I see that as us. God can tell us, okay, go right here, go left here, move to this or move to that while we're in motion. But when we're stationary, it's so much harder to move left or right. Another example is the GPS. When you're in the garage and you put your GPS in, you program it in, it doesn't tell you left, right. But as you begin to drive and as you begin to move, it tells you, okay, make a right here, make a left here. And I believe that that's also how the kingdom of God is. He'll tell you, okay, make a left here, talk to that lady over there, talk to that lady. But if you're at home in your slippers watching TV, you don't necessarily have access to that lady that he wants you to communicate with, who's going to give you the insight as to what your next steps are in your journey.
Shanella has a question. Shanella, what's your question?
My question is, Suppose you're moving forward, but it seems as if what you're moving forward to, you're not achieving it. Or do you continue moving forward?
Mm. If you're moving forward and you're not achieving what you're moving towards, how do you, in other words, how do you get the courage
Momentum.
perhaps to keep going? Is that your question, Shanella?
Right.
Well, for me, the challenge was I didn't move at all at first because I had this big goal and I did not see how I could manifest it. Okay. So if you feel like you're moving forward, but you don't feel like you're achieving it or it's not really working, the secret is to break it down. Give yourself a smaller goal. Give yourself a micro goal instead of a macro goal that you can handle. And then when you have that micro goal and you do it, you feel encouraged. You feel joy. You feel like, oh, I can do this. And then you set another micro goal, something small that you feel you can achieve. And then you keep going and going. And before you know it, those micro goals, the little goals turn into macro goals. And you look up and you have actually achieved that thing. So whatever it is that you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not able to do it, make it smaller. Put it in a way that there's one little step that you can handle and that you accomplish, and then little by little build and build and build. Because at that point, I literally was stuck, not just in terms of my career, but I wasn't even going outside and talking to people. And I had to get to the point where I got up and I put on my sneakers and I went to the door. It was that bad. And then I got up, I put on my sneakers and I went to the end of the block. I had a letterbox at the end of my block.
Literally,
and then I did 2 blocks. And then I did 3. And then the next thing you knew, Anella, I was on my journey to running a half marathon. I won a whole race. I was number 3 in a race with a whole bunch of women. So I went from not being able to put my sneakers on and go outside to I'm running, and I'm, beating people who I would think, would be able to run faster than me. You just got to make it small enough so that you can win, and then celebrate yourself. That's another thing. Celebrating yourself when you have those micro wins. Love yourself and be kind to yourself. Yes. When we feel like we're losing and we're not winning, even that language, you just can't make it. You're just not, that's not encouraging. Why would we get up and do it? Remember that there's the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and it's hearing you. So if it's hearing, oh, we're not winning, we're losing, why would it want to move in that direction? Start winning, Nella. I want to see you win. Start with the micros, the little stuff. And like I said, I'm here to help. So break it down, make it smaller.
Patty says when we change, we move, we can change our life. When we change, we can literally move our life, which is true. When you change, is the switch in our minds to decide to change, it moves our lives forward. We will literally have 5 minutes left. So we're going to explore now the 4th law to overcome fear, get unstuck, and live our best life. And that is the law of proximity. Please tell us what that means, Arlene.
So in my journey, like I said, I came up with these 10 secrets, but number 4, and like I said, they're in order, was 4, because 4 is proximity. And there's a proverb in the word, and it talks about how when we're close to people, and for those of you who have the book, you can actually read the quote. I don't want to misquote it. It's in Proverbs, and it talks about how when we're close to the things that we want, we're better able to accomplish them. And so the idea is that whatever it is you want, find people who are already doing it. Make it easy on yourself. Make it easy on yourself. If you're surrounded by people who are doing the thing that you want, they can tell you how they did it. And sometimes they don't even know how they did it. They can't tell you, but just by being around them, you'll see what they're doing. You'll hear how they talk. You'll see where they're going. Just the fact that you're in close proximity with them, you'll begin to change and be more like them. So the idea is that before you even achieve the thing on paper, you're already that person. So remember, there's where you are now, and then there's where you want to be, and there's the bridge in between. Okay. So maybe you're not all the way there, but if you can get close proximity to that thing, then you'll be more likely to achieve it. So for me, it was moving to California. So for those of you that are part of the group, you know that I lived in New York City, and the coaches that I wanted to be close to live in California. Okay, that was one of my dreams, to be able to move to California. And so I was able to pick up and do it. How did I do it? Well, that's a whole story. That's a whole process too. But just the fact that I'm around people who are living outside of the box means that I'm more in that thought process of living outside the box. I mean, since then, I've been in close proximity with people who are, in happy relationships. I don't know how happy they are, but I'm in a better situation. I'm closer to people who are in relationships like the one that I want to be in, looking from the outside in. And so I was able to be found by my perfect partner as part of my getting into proximity to what I wanted. I was also able to, quit my day job and begin to live the lifestyle that the people who I admire were living. How? I can see it. I can see them doing it. I see how they're doing it, and I'm doing it too. And I want that for you as well. That's why I've written the book, so that other people who want to achieve their goals and dreams and visions can also manifest them using these secrets. And, if I can talk with you at any time, please go ahead and contact me and let me talk with you and help you to get where it is that you're looking to go. Thank you so much.
So you hear that, guys? Get close to the people or the thing,
For the places,
the ideas, the seminar. You need to go to a seminar or a conference, whatever. Get close. You want to be more spiritual? Get close. You want to, whatever it is, get close. That helps. And there's a principle or a scripture that actually supports that as well. That talks about when bad company corrupts good character. So I would think that good company will enhance your character, right? The complete opposite.
Right.
So it's that same, it's feeding the energy that gets fed when you feed your soul and feed your energy. But we just want to say thank you for those of you who came tonight to explore how we can overcome fear, get unstuck, and live our best life. Thank you guys for joining us. We end at 10 and it's 9:59. If you need to reach Arlene, please tell them how they can get your book, how they can reach you on social media, please.
AskArleneShow.com. Go to AskArleneShow.com. You can do a free consult with me where we can just talk about your goals and your dreams and your visions. You can join the mastermind group where you can be around some other people who are also on the journey and want to gain some directives as to how they can do better. Or you can join our 3-step, 5-day program where you can just have a quick pick me up as far as, laying out the plan for the future.
There you go. If you have any last thoughts or comments, you can certainly reach out to us here at the East Speaks platform. Besides that, thank you guys and have a wonderful night. And I will talk to each other next week. We'll be discussing more about the 15 laws of growing, the growth strategies that we've been exploring. We'll continue in that vein next week. Until next time, have a good night. Bye-bye.